The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off the extra material that I have on the ends of my rocket. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start trimming around here until I get down to my white paper. I don't want to trim too far. The whole project should be approximately 11 inches long. So I'm just going to keep trimming here. Once I get down to my printer paper, then I know I'm at the right place. There we go. You may have noticed that there's a little piece of the gum tape that's sticking up here a little bit. That's alright. I can moisten that and lay it right back down again. Trim that off a little bit. There we go. That end is looking pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is go to the other end. I'm leaving my tube inside here for now because that makes it so when I grab onto my airframe, I don't crush it with my hands because it is only made out of paper. There we go. That end looks pretty good. I'll just square that up a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Now, because as the rocket takes off, we have a launch pad, and the launch pad is going to have a pin on the end of it, on the edge of it, that allows this to go straight up in the air. So I'm going to need to attach a small straw, and this small straw is going to be attached right along the edge of the airframe, and it has to be parallel with the direction in which it's going to fly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure up 3 inches from the bottom. I'm going to measure 3 inches up from the bottom of the airframe. I'm going to put a little mark right there, just a little mark, and then I'm going to use my plastic tube and I'm going to lay it right next to my airframe, and I'm going to draw a line right up the side. Not really long, it only needs to be long enough for my piece of straw. Now, my line is right here, there's my straw, and I'm going to be attaching it right on top of that line. Now I'm going to be attaching it with some of my glue. This is actually woodworking glue. I'm going to add a little bit, but the problem I find is that this is going to move all over the place. So I'm going to use a little hot melt glue, our favorite hot melt glue. So I'm going to put just a dot of hot melt glue on this side, just a dot, and a dot on that side. And all that dot is going to do is hold this in place so my woodworking glue can cure. And I haven't even put the woodworking glue on yet, but that's pretty good. I don't want to put this on all the way with hot melt glue. Hot melt glue is very heavy. It's very important that we have a light rocket. So I'm going to add some glue up that side. Now this is a special straw. This straw is actually a paper straw. That's why I can use this wood glue. If I were to use a plastic drinking straw, it wouldn't work very well. These plastic drinking straws right here don't work very well because the glue doesn't hold on the plastic drinking straws. So there we go. The next thing I can do is I can turn my attention to making the fins. So I'm going to put this aside for a few minutes. I'm going to clean up my work area here. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to create my fins, and what I did is I have a pattern here, and this pattern actually came from the Pittsco manual where I got the rockets, and this is the style of fin they would like us to use. The fin is a control surface. It helps the rocket go straight. So what I'm going to do next, and this is very important, I have a plastic material I'm going to make the rocket fins out of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down. You notice there's a notch at the bottom of this, and there's actually a notch in one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it down here, and that little notch lines up with the end. And if you don't do this right, you're not going to have enough material to do the rocket fins out of this one piece. So I drew a couple lines on here. There's one fin. Now I'm going to take this fin and roll it over and put it all the way down at the very bottom. I'm going to put it down at the very bottom here, and I'm going to lay this out. I'm going to make my lines with my pencil. I'm going to do one line here, do another line there, make a line for my little notch as well. And now, hopefully, I have enough material to put one more fin right down the middle. It's supposed to work. I'm going to have to work on that. I'll be back with you in just a minute.